back to Yule Go Wild. In this episode, we review our MDC. Was it the right choice for our journey? And what we disliked, liked, and what modifications we have done.
So this is our MDC Cruizer Highside. I think it's 3 years old. We bought it 2 years ago. It was used, but it was like new. It had very little use from what we could see. We haven't done an awful lot to change things. There's some things that we sort of have done. We haven't done too much, and there's some things that we dislike, and maybe there's just not a better way of doing it. So we start with the food cupboard. So this is quite an annoyance. When you've got the clips and the food cupboard out, you can't get the
Fridge cupboard open.
The fridge. If you come on this side. And that's how all these little scratches get made, and they're all over the place. So I've started fixing them up as we've gone round. Standard storage tray, which we find quite, we do pack quite a lot of stuff with us. There's only the two of us though.
One of our concerns when we were working out whether we wanted a camper trailer or a whether you wanted a camper trailer or you wanted a caravan, is we thought the camper trailer was short on space, and that was worrying us. So we nearly purchased a caravan because they seem to have a lot more cupboard storage, and we were really worried about that. But one of the things we have noticed, actually, we can get an awful lot, and you can stack all this up. Normally this has got loads of food. We're obviously away in Queensland, so we've used a lot of the food because we're up in Cape York at the moment, and so shops are far and few between. So we've got through a lot of our resources. So yeah, that as well. So food is quite, there's a lot of space. I can get at least 3 to 4 weeks worth of food in here. Here is just a shelf. Drawer is really handy because you can get right to the back of it, whereas the shelf at the top, there isn't that option. So we went into Bunnings, I think it was, and we bought these plastic trays. Now, because of the angle here, the box couldn't actually come in and out properly as though it was a full box with the lid on it. Basically, we cut the edge off all the way around to make it so it goes in and out, and it slides in and out quite easy. So that's all our kitchen equipment. We don't have an awful lot. We come very minimalist. So we've got 2 plates, 2 bowls, teapot, cups, a mixing bowl, and a sieve, basically. And if you look further into the cupboard, you can see this is another box there. So this is our overflow food things, for things that we bought in bulk that we don't need regularly. So I make my own sauces. They're in the cupboard. So there's a lot of curry sauce and spaghetti sauce in there. And because I'm a celiac and dairy intolerant, I wasn't sure how much food I was going to be able to buy up this far. So I've got a lot of stuff that are foods that I can eat. So there is plenty of storage. And one thing is, on social media, a lot of people ask is what do you take for equipment for cooking. We only have 2 saucepans. 2 saucepans and 2 frying pans. That is it. We don't need anything else.
We've got glass tops for the frying pans though, so they...
Yeah, so they double up as an oven as such.
So the fridge slide, we've got a 95 litre Evercool fridge freezer. This is the fan that was fitted by the previous owner that sucks air out, so at least it keeps the dust out, and maybe it
takes the hot out.
Takes some of the heat out. We put just a bit of ply in here so that we can mount the frying pans and the lids, so that gives us a bit more space. Previously they would sit in the other cupboard, and pretty much no matter what you wanted to get out, you had to take the frying pans out. We sort of use some of the space around the fridge for condiments or sauces or whatever. This is one of the annoyances, and I don't know whether there's an answer, but power for the fridge is at the front, and you just have to be careful when you're putting this away and putting it out, it doesn't get caught in the sliders. It would be nice to have some sort of retractable system on it so that it sort of pulls out, keeps the cable out of the way. MDC provide a cigarette lighter adapter, but our fridge, and I'm pretty sure most fridges, would be Anderson plug. So we had to cable tie that in because the cigarette lighter adapter just vibrates out over time.
And the freezer is actually really good, isn't it? If we pull it out a minute, sorry to be annoying. Because this one, you can open both ends and you can lift the lid right off. Unlike most of them, where you can only have one side. So that you can decide which side your fridge is going to be on, so you can open the lid as well.
Functionally, it's quite good. You can have both sides freezers, both sides fridge, or fridge freezer like we've got. So the MDC trailers come with Country Comfort hot and cold water. The previous owner had hard installed that. And it works really well actually. I don't know whether this is standard or not, but we've got a hot water outlet at the front, which I think they've done, the previous owner's done. We're up at Chili Beach at the moment, so we've gone through quite a lot of red dust, and it does get really, gets all the weather on it, so Jenny's made a dustproof and waterproof cover. I think without that it wouldn't last on this sort of trip. Gas storage. You can't get the gas bottles out when the camper trailer is set up without lifting this. I guess that's just how it is. It can be a bit annoying though if you want to change your gas bottle and you're going to be somewhere for a couple of days and you don't want to have to mess around lifting this up. On this side, I've taken out, there was a jerry can holder on this side. I've taken that out so I can get 2 jerry cans in there. But again, it's really difficult to get a jerry can out, especially if it's full, with the trailer folded open.
This is the boys' cupboard.
It sort of gets used for junk, but we do get the barbecue in there, and a tray with bits and pieces in, power cable. We've got an electric cooktop, which sits in there quite nicely. So we've pretty much fire extinguisher, pretty much everything that we need. And
so the cooktop, the electric hot plate is just in case it's pouring with rain and we can't cook outside, because we didn't bother bringing the awning because it's heavy and we're tight on space and that's it. So this is basically our washing station. So we can have a shower at the back of the camper trailer. We've got a tent that we use, but we also can do a cheeky little nudie shower. So all the stuff's ready for washing and toilet rolls.
That's all my hair products in there.
And at the top was just junk of stuff that we like, hairdryer, things that we don't ever use. That's what we keep around the back. And this is obviously the electrics as such.
So it's a mixture of the standard electrics. The previous owner had, I don't know, made some upgrades, but the challenge with that was that things like the inverter weren't fused. So now everything goes through a waterproof 100 amp fuse. We've got 120 amp hour lithium batteries that have been really good. And we've got the meter on there. That's an eBay meter, and the functionality is really good, but it resets itself a lot. And of course, with lithium, you can only tell it your battery size and how long, and it will work, and whether it's full or not, and then it will count down the percentage from there. Or you tell it when it's empty, and it will count up the percentage from there. We can't really rely on that.
It's rubbish, isn't it? Because so this afternoon it went off and decided to go to 0 for no apparent reason, even though there was plenty of juice in the batteries as such. So we're going to change that for a better branded make, aren't we? And this is what came. Oh, actually, and I think this is what the previous owners put in.
Yeah, they put that in there. It's as you can see, it's a DC to Enerdrive.
Enerdrive, yeah.
It's an Enerdrive DC to DC charger. So we've got input from the Anderson plug and the solar. And it will switch automatically depending on which one is getting the most amount of charge. We've got 2 eBay solar panels that we've taken an idea that the previous owner did, which works really quite well.
So there's like 700 watts of solar on the roof, isn't there?
Yeah.
Alright, so So on the back we've got our bush bin. So we use that actually for cans and bottles because it's easier to carry all those in there really than the bin. And bikes that, as you can see, are a little bit dusty from all the red dust. And
they've done a lot of cases.
They've done a lot of travelling. Not a lot of riding, a lot of travelling.
We modified a...
yeah, to get them on. This is actually another topic of people wanting to know what to do with bikes.
So we had a car bike rack that goes on your tow bar, so I put a tow bar mount on the back, and that's solidly U-bolted to the frame, and goes inside between the tyres and the back rail, so it's really solid.
And the plastic tube that goes along the back is just basically a water pipe, and that's to hold all the poles so they don't have to stay inside. And the kitchen side, so at the back of the kitchen there's like little left out boxes, and you can put all your herbs and spices in there. I've got lots of those. And on this side we've got our, we sort of swap it around actually. So this has got the washing up stuff in there, and this has just got any tea towels, washing up, lots of rubbish in there. We don't have them on at the moment, but they're actually strip lights. Now these are a bit annoying because actually they don't really, they need to be higher up. Now the newer versions of the MDC, they have them on little arms that come out, which is a much better option. We missed out on this bit. So there's the cooker. It is 4 rings, and actually really good, but
unless it's windy.
Yeah, but I think that's what any outdoor cooker is going to be the same. The only issue we have with this is if we have the kitchen out, which is what you're going to have to do when you're camping, have the kitchen out most of the time. If it rains, it gets in, and then the issue is down here, because this is a bit of a gully thing. All your food scraps or anything goes in here, and any water goes straight in there, and it's quite hard to clean out. So you actually have to pull out the switches, the dials, so you can clean in out properly, which is a bit of annoying. Really what it would be better if it was a nice flat surface with the plugs on the top, and it'll be easier to clean. So MDC, if you're watching, that's what we want.
Something that's easy to clean.
Yeah. And this is the sink, and this is actually quite good. A lot of running hot cold water. It's really easy to use, and you can put things in the sink when you're transporting. So we actually have a bowl and a trays and things, and so they put all in there, so that goes. Now one of the other things, if you notice, unfortunately with the camper trailer, it is really full of dust because of where we are. However, one thing they really do have right is, and you can see where the dust is around here, when we pull out all this stuff, it is completely dust free. The seals that go around all the drawers and cupboards and things, they really do hold back the dust, which is really fantastic. So that is a really great thing. Yeah, the cutlery drawer. We have little knives. If you've got big knives, then might not fit in your drawers. That's the only thing. Oh, that's locked. And over here we've got all the other little drawers, and so we've got all the stuff. It's amazing what you can get in there. And this is our fancy coffee machine. We don't carry fancy coffee, big coffee machine like everybody else does. It seems to be on TV. We just have a little coffee machine, or we go to the shop and we buy them from the coffee shop. Alright, so inside, so the bed is really comfy. We have a topper on our bed. So that's the mattress, the original mattress. Yeah, it's not that great. So we bought a foam topper, and we put that on the bed, and it's actually surprisingly comfy. So plenty of light. We haven't opened these because there were people camping behind us, so we never opened those windows, but there's plenty of light in here. It's actually nearly 5 o'clock, so it's quite dark in here at the moment. So over here is the lounge area, and it's good sized seating, especially if it's only the 2 of us, but we have had 4 people in here before, and it's so and it was quite comfortable for all 4 of us sitting in here. There is a table that fits in the middle here, and the side cushions here go down into the middle on top of the table, and that becomes another double bed. Because of the lack of storage, what we have done though is we've bought these boxes, and these are just from Big W. They cost 15 bucks, and they're just drawers, and so we can put all our clothes in there. So that is all the clothes we've bought. So underneath the chairs there are storage, and so this is our inverter, and we've got a little electric fan, and then just some stuff, personal stuff. In this one we have our 2 lithium batteries, and originally it had some the old batteries, but there was 3 of them when that was in the other cupboard over there. These pipes here are for our diesel heater. So we've actually wired a diesel heater to come in. So the diesel heater sits, the diesel heater sits outside, and it pipes in through these air vents. So you can go in the cold. Obviously this side doesn't have any storage underneath it because that's your kitchen area. And under this cupboard there's a little bit of space, because this is your wheel arch here, so you have just this little bit here. But it's amazing what you can get in here. So I've got all my exercise stuff, and we've got shoes in there, and also there is a little lockbox, and this is where we keep our electrical bits in there. We never keep anything valuable in here at all. Everything else gets locked away in the car or kept on us, but we never keep anything valuable because there's no way of securing it properly. Even if you lock the cupboard on this, and I can get my fingers behind it already, it wouldn't take much to jimmy it open. So it's not actually technically a secure cupboard, even though you can lock it. When it gets dark, there's LED strips, and these have come part of the MDC, and there's 3 of them. They're all big long strips. We only use 1 in here because it's actually bright enough, especially at night, to light up the whole of this camper trailer. We have 1 outside, and that sits into a cigarette lighter, which is down here, or there's a cigarette lighter at the back as well, which but we use that for something else. And down here you can also see that Andy's fitted in a electric plug socket, because putting a hand in here to get to the inverter was a pain. So basically all it is just actually a plug that goes into the charger. It's not hardwired at all, it's just like an extension lead basically. It also comes with 2 USB ports, which are really handy, and they got little lights on it so you can see in the dark. And there's obviously the speakers, and that hole actually we put in because that's for our heater, so the heat comes through either of those 2 holes and heats up the camper trailer. And because it's because we went out into the snowy mountains, it was really cold, we actually put on the heater, diesel heater, just for a few minutes, and that just a few minutes really heats this whole camper trailer up really quickly. It's really good. So you barely use any diesel, and because the diesel heater is outside, because we managed to plumb it in, you don't get any fumes whatsoever, so it's really, really good. Another feature you get is the stereo, and it comes with a little remote. That's our little light, and then you have another speaker here too, and then there's an aerial. We're actually jumping forward a bit of a time, so you're actually seeing this before the Queensland stuff comes in. So we're actually in Queensland. One of the things we did, we went to Innisfail, and it absolutely tipped down, and the whole camper trailer got really soaking wet. One of the downsides of having a camper trailer, when you have to leave, you've got to fold it up, and it doesn't matter how wet it is, it just comes and you get wet. It's quite annoying, and there is no other way around doing that, unfortunately. It's just one of those things, and all camper trailers are the same. Because we were moving along the humidity, we ended up with terrible mold. all across the ceiling and all along this back wall. But we just basically washed it with vinegar, neat vinegar pretty much, and a little bit of washing up liquid, and all the mould is completely gone, and it hasn't even left any stains. It's that good. So if you ever get issues with mould, and everyone does, even in your house, vinegar is the cure for mould. It gets rid of it and completely, and that's it. So it hasn't come back since we treated it with vinegar at all, and it was quite bad. In the sense of putting things so the camper trailer away, that with the people who had it before, there was 2 previous owners for this camper trailer, and we were really worried why. And their reasoning for it was it's really hard to put up and put away. And that's what freaked us out, because we were unsure. We did actually get them to put it away so we could actually watch them and see what they did. And it didn't seem that hard. So we thought, okay, well, we gave it a go. And we knew we wanted one because a caravan won't go off-road like we wanted it to. So this is why we're having the MDC, because its durability. We can literally take it anywhere and everywhere, and it will follow. That's what we loved about it. So once we've got used to putting it up and down, we can actually physically get this camper trailer up. Just the camper trailer, that is, not with the awning. We can get it up within 10 minutes. Quicker if it's pouring with rain. But we can get it up with 10 minutes, and that is including making the bed and setting up the lounge area, putting all the stuff away, what needs to go away. So it is actually 10 minutes is really quick. We've watched people put caravans up and taken hours, so we know that actually it isn't that bad. When we pack away the camper trailer, obviously your poles have got to go somewhere. The bedding stays on, and there's straps, and it literally, and it ties all the bed down. The only thing you can't do is obviously your pillows can't go, so they have to come off, but they stay in the camper trailer. So the boxes will go on the floor, so I'll have all 4 boxes on the floor. I put the poles on top, the cushions go inside between the boxes, because the boxes come to about here. The cushions go between, and then the pillows go over on top, and then the table goes on top of the cupboard, on top of the boxes, and then the cushions go on, and everything packs down, and it all fits away neat and tidy. So we don't actually have to physically get all our stuff in and out every 5 minutes, which is great. I know this is going to cause a lot of controversy, but the MDC camper trailer is designed for off-road adventures, and that is why we bought it. We don't want to stick to tarmac and love being completely off-grid, and this camper trailer is certainly allowing this amazing lifestyle. What has totally amazed us though, it doesn't matter how much we put the camper through, it just keeps following, and when we open it back up, everything is still in the same place as when he put it away. Even the eggs make the journey without being scrambled.
You know we got what you need, baby. Take it, move along. I said we got what you need, honey. Come and groove along. Come on. Rolling on that highway, beat up. Wow.
Mr. Little MDC.
Join us on our adventures around Australia. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share.